Welcome to Late Night Chat with JT and Nico, Episode 12, Part 1.
I'm staring at this Bible as I keep glancing. Dear Lord, I got questions and I need answers. Trying to understand your vision, all I see is damage. Just a bunch of dead bodies in the street camping. A bunch of lost souls on their feet standing. We supposed to be your children, I thought we family. You supposed to be my father, bro, I need answers. We don't need to die young, we just need chances. Tired of living on the edge, so we keep scrambling. Trying to talk to these strippers, but they keep dancing. We just want to be number one like Steve Francis. Bow our heads, say a prayer, now the seeds planted. Everywhere I turn,
All right, welcome everybody to another exciting episode of Late Night Chat with JT and Nico.
At 6 o'clock. No.
Mid-afternoon chat. And welcome to our guest, Christina.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
A special guest on the program.
A returning guest.
Well, no.
I'm a
Special
little
guest.
disappointed there's no red carpet.
Your better half, he got invited before you, so.
He did.
Yes, for any of you longtime listeners of the show, 12 episodes in, if you maybe remember, maybe it was number 7, Fluffer Nutter. It was titled Episode
Mr.
7.
Comedian over there. Mr. Comedian, that took us 3 hours to fucking record. Man, that one was a hard one, too. This one wasn't so bad. Poor guy had to bring him
you've
home.
been a pleasure even from the get-go of setting up everything today, Christina. I will say you've already impressed us more than your other half.
Patience is a virtue with
It
us.
is a virtue.
Big time.
I've learned that.
It's okay. Nico doesn't have very much of it, but you'll start to realize that. You'll see that throughout the show. Moving on. Go on. Moving on.
So yeah, as I just previously mentioned, Christina is the person that we were grilling Lewis about that he is getting married to. Now that we can finally bring you out into the open, Christina. I know Lewis is kind of a little hush-hush about who you were on his...
Yeah, exactly.
His episode. Yeah, you didn't want people getting jealous.
Well,
so
he was out. He was out the other day. I didn't want to say it, but he was out the other day with some girls for a walk. So
I know.
You know,
Fucking bitches.
Yes, fucking bitches. Exactly.
who's
That's
he
what I was
working
thinking.
with?
No, don't worry about it.
Oh,
Dude.
you'd be following him on the internet.
It's called trolling.
Yeah.
It's called trolling. He looks so cute. They were just dogs. That's what I'm talking about, man.
There are two
That's
dogs.
why bitches.
Bro, can you imagine the wedding gets ruined on the cast? That would be shit. Anyways.
Moving on.
Welcome back. Christina did also appear on my old podcast, Real Talk.
Yeah,
with
the one where I
Neeks and P.
sneak piece seat. And that's it. That's gone now. Poor Peter had to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger, better things.
Yep.
You know, kids,
Sure.
the life. That's it. No.
Yeah, we're still sitting here talking into mics.
Yeah. Surrounded by comics
Yeah.
and little
Older,
action
wiser.
figures. You know, little action figures. You know.
This
So
is
how,
an oasis, I have to say.
This is very. Doesn't it make you a little nervous to be in here because of all the crap going on around here? I don't even know half the shit.
Crap.
Yeah. You know,
It's my crap. You're
it's
talking
Nico's
about.
crap, but you know what?
I've come
To
to
me-
appreciate this stuff.
Well, nothing's changed for a
And
while.
Christina's a big geek, too.
I'm starting to
I'm a
realize.
huge geek.
Yeah, but I'm starting to realize that nothing's changed for a while. It's just sitting there. I think he needs to move them around. I think they need to be
It needs to be
reorganized.
free.
Well, they need to be reorganized.
Jay,
You know,
Jay
they don't
thought
want to
the
be.
walls were
Maybe
closing in
Batman
on him
doesn't
when he
want
first
to.
came here.
Maybe
He said that Batman was over there laughing at him.
Maybe
was kinda
he
losing
doesn't
his
want to
mind
stand
one
that way.
day.
Maybe he wants to stand facing me. You know, like I don't know. He doesn't want to look at Nico or any the guests or whatever.
I don't
Maybe
have
they want to
enough
look at
time
me.
to spend in here. That's why I enjoy doing the podcast in here. I'm
So
too busy
let's
working
get
to afford
back
all
to our
this
guest
crap.
here.
Moving
This
on.
Back
crap,
to
as you put it. Whoa!
Hey, what happened? You screwed it up again, man.
Oh man, it's okay. We're
It's
good.
all right. He pushes all these buttons, and this is what happens, right?
Fucking, I just got moving on my own podcast, bro.
It's going to be the theme of the evening.
It's going to be the theme. So we finally have a
We've
girl
had
on the
12
show.
episodes of your crap.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Christina, the main reason we wanted to have you on. Other than I called you to task after you talked crap over the internet about not having no female representation on the show.
Yeah.
Amen. What's wrong with you?
I know. That's why.
It's been 12 episodes.
Right. It's time to have a woman on. I guess you're right. So
You know, I think so too. You know, I kept telling him we should have girls'
I
opinions.
thought
Just
it
for
was
some variety.
No, not
you
at
know,
all.
bring in some new listeners.
right.
You know, I got lots to say.
I bet you
Good.
do.
I'm glad. That's why we have you
I
here.
bet we have probably some arguments that we can go along with. We get Yeah, maybe we get Christine in here too, and we can have a 2-on-2 battle.
No, that's too many women. Let's start off with one on the podcast. We'll go from there.
Yeah. I would love to have Christina.
See, exactly. That would kind of make for a funny conversation.
I'm putting my foot down on that one.
Oh.
Anyways, Christina called me to task. She's like, how come there's no women representation on the cast? I kind of threw out the invite. I was like, I thought she was going to shoot it down. She's like, no, I'll come on. I was like, all right, let's do this. And here you are. I know, it's true.
Well, I was surprised too, when he didn't get you to come on earlier too, because if you think about it, I mean, you guys hung out a lot more than I ever hung out with him. I mean, you grew up with them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Nico basically grew up with you guys.
Yeah, so for everybody listening as well, a little more inside baseball. Peter, one of our earliest guests and the guy I used to do Real Talk with, podcast, is actually Christina's cousin.
Yay.
So it's all...
familiar.
Me and Peter, you mean?
Yes.
People are going to start Christina.
Not Peter.
And it didn't have
share a water.
No. And 2 grown men, and it didn't have a door.
Bro, whatever. You like that bachelor pad. You're just jealous. That was a great bachelor
And
pad,
then at
bro.
one point it was 3, where it's like turned into a triangle jerk instead of a circle.
Jesse lived upstairs, bro.
There's one free hand.
Things are getting a little too fucking personal. I'm putting the brakes on this.
That's one free hand. I think there's something going on. 2, 3. This is too early in the day for me, bro. What's wrong with you? Don't you like have me when I'm not talking at all? I think that's what you like the best. No.
I can kind of direct the conversation better that way. Yeah, no, you're right.
Exactly.
Now you're just
now
like,
I'm going to take over. Fucking, this is JT's show now.
Anyways, this is about Christina, our guest. We're all over the fucking place. Very professional here.
It's okay. We got a lot of time to fill. No? It's okay. Go on. Let's hear what you have to say. Bring it up. Come on. I love the way you talk. I do. I really do, Nico.
So, Christina.
There we go.
Unlike my shitty-ass co-host here, JT... who doesn't appreciate good shows. Mm-hmm. One of the main things I wanted to talk about with you today, let's just jump right into it, it's Game of Thrones.
What's that?
So everyone listening, Christina is such a huge Game of Thrones fan. You actually recently took part in a trivia night at a bar.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah, at Hemingway's.
How did that go?
It was fantastic.
I like Hemingway's, actually. It's a good spot to have some beers in the summer. It's a decent spot. It's got a nice upstairs patio, I must say.
I don't like it's well known, but it's like a hidden gem.
I went to the real one in Cuba.
Oh, good God.
That was fucking awesome, man. And yeah, I had a drink there, so it was pretty cool, man. It was it's very historic.
Put that one in the books.
Yeah, put that one in the books. Well, too bad I didn't do it by myself. But yeah, moving on. Go on.
What were you there with? Hold on, wait a second.
Let's go.
No. We have a girl on the podcast. We're talking about it.
What'd you do with Jay?
Let it go.
No. It's okay. Have a good time talking about it. That can't be.
See how silent you shut the fuck up there? Okay, moving on.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Good times, but that can't be.
Oh, I know. Anyways, Christina.
Yeah, so Hemingway's trivia night.
Yes.
It was fantastic. There was about 27 teams. Teams are made up between 2 and 6 people. And it was based on the show only, which was nice, because I haven't read all the books yet.
Cool.
You've read some of them, though.
Yeah, I've read the first 2.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. That's what it's based off of.
Yeah.
And the thing about this last season is the writer, George R.R. Martin, hasn't actually finished the last book yet. Okay. So the show's actually going to finish before the actual books do, which a lot of fans of the books originally are actually pretty pissed off about.
I mean, they consulted with him.
Yeah, he's a consulting writer on the show.
Yeah.
But do you think he's going to... let's start off with that. I actually want to ask you that before you can go more into Hemingway's. Do you think he's holding back some of his cards for himself for that last book?
Absolutely. Because
as he should, right?
Yeah. Like, he can have a totally different ending than what they've produced on air. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps people buying his material. Mm-hmm. And then, what the TV show lacked for some people, the books can fill that void.
Can provide, yeah.
Right.
It
And
seems to happen in a lot of shows, but not just...
Yeah, but not only that, with the books, actually, even up to this point, from what I've heard from people that have read the books, they actually go, because of the way those novels are, they're kind of like fucking Lord of the Rings. Everything's very descriptive, and they go very in-depth to things on a much larger scale, if I'm correct,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like, you actually, already up to this point, even watching the show, get way more out of the books than, like, that.
Yeah, but that's with anything like Harry Potter. Like,
Right.
if, you know, even Lord of the Rings. Like, apparently my brother just told me that there was a fifth Hobbit or something that was supposed to go on the journey.
He was a midget.
In the book.
In the books.
Oh, that was
and
like
they totally,
left in the fucking Shire?
yeah, they totally writ him out of the movie.
Yeah.
Because
So,
he probably was born with deformities.
I think they're all were, bro. They're hobbits.
Hey, dude, that's not right to say.
They're called little people, or
Yes, but no. I wasn't. They're normal.
but yeah,
Except that special one. He was the lonely dwarf.
okay,
Sorry,
whatever.
can I not say that?
No.
Okay.
Well, dwarfism
Yeah,
is a
they're-
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
in that type of a scenario, that's
Well, it's
appropriate.
Tyrion.
I can get away with
Peter
that one.
Dinklage. What is he technically? Is he just a little person?
A little person.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, if you're
dwarf,
under
but
a
they're
certain
dwarf.
height.
There is people
It's
that are
called
referred as dwarf.
dwarfism.
That's what I said.
Like, that's
I
what
said
the-
dwarfism.
Anomaly is called as dwarfism, but
Okay,
But the way
it's
I had
not
said
politically correct. I mean, nothing
say
is
as a
anymore.
dwarf.
But
that's right.
I think it was okay.
We
Who
watch what
knows
we
what
say
is?
on this podcast.
No, we
right?
don't. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we
Wrong
don't.
guest.
No, don't
Good.
don't get me going at this girl stuff. Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, I think that it's good that he's probably holding some stuff back from this final season. But I know some people are kind of probably disappointed in that because they're not dedicated viewers of the show. I've heard some complaints from because they feel they're getting a rushed through journey in these last 6 episodes, whereas up to this point you've had so much time with these characters, and now it seems like 6 episodes, the first episode in. Well, we can do a breakdown of each episode so far. So at this time of recording, this is 3 episodes into the season.
Season 8.
That's right. And yeah, you're going to be since, like I said, you're the trivia master over here, you're going to be much better with these people's names than I am,
Trivia
actually.
Maester.
That guy, this guy who's related to this guy.
Well, Google's
like-
probably better at all of them.
Yeah, there is like a
Who?
family tree online and everything that
I
explains
can
how
Google.
everyone's connected. Like, have you actually ever looked at one of those?
Yeah.
Did you prepare and rewatch all of the seasons before
So-
going to Hemingway's?
Well, just this last year, let's say at the end of June, my friend and her boyfriend we would go to each other's homes like once a week, and we would watch like 2 or 3 episodes starting from season 1, episode 1, and yeah, we would basically finish just in time for the new season to
Nice.
start. So this was actually my 4th time watching the entire series.
See now me,
Right.
I've only watched it once the whole
you're
way
missing-
through.
you have
with
to
the
watch
gaps. Like, I have not even watched any additional episodes. My intentions were to watch it before this season started. I had 2 fucking years, didn't do it. I just didn't. So now I'm gonna wait till it ends.
And then rewatch it
Yeah.
all.
So
Yeah.
which is usually what I do with most series. And for this, I've caught most of the references. Although, and we'll get into it when we do the episode breakdown, there was certain things so far that I definitely saw on the internet after the fact that kind of had to remind me, because there's some things like I didn't catch. Like the blue eyes, green eyes, whatever the hell.
Yes, that line, yes.
That went right over my head. I was
Yeah.
like, "What?" I'm like, "One of the and
I know, and you know,
And-
because you forget that Melisandre and Arya met before, and they had an exchange.
Yes, I forgot,
But-
and apparently it was in season 3.
Yeah,
Apparently.
but
See,
because I just seen it,
Right.
like I remembered. I was like, oh man, like yes.
I did not realize till this season though how predestined everything fucking
Yes,
is in this show.
there is a reason
and
for
they
everything.
Keep telling you that throughout
Yes,
the
but
series.
you don't think about
don't-
it because there's
Exact-
so much
right.
Story. There's so much history,
Character
but there's
development.
character
Yeah.
development. But there's also lots of trauma.
Right. Well, yeah.
So you kind of
That's-
focus on everything that's kind of like
Right.
right in front of you, and you don't pick up on the little things until you watch it again and again.
That's why I feel like an idiot, because every time I hear these things that were predestined that they bring up again for the 3rd time in the fucking show, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm like, they've been telling us this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, and the craziest one reveal I think was the fact that in that episode, Ned Stark died at the end of the first season. Now, I didn't remember this either. I read this online after the fact. In the first episode, when they bring you back and he finds out he's the rightful king to the throne, Jon Snow.
Yeah.
He sees the statue of Ned. And he said before he died, the next time you see me, I'm going to tell you about your mother. And then he finds out from Sam after seeing the statue of this guy who died, who told him that.
That's crazy. I have no idea what you're talking about because I've never watched Game of Thrones, guys. That's probably why anybody out there is wondering why JT's gone silent.
He's still here. He's still awake.
I am.
It's just one of those things where throughout the series they're planting seeds that are actually finally coming to fruition 7 fucking seasons later. Like things that they've been telling you all along, and just lines. Like, because the writers, it's so well written that there's all these classic lines that they keep saying that actually mean something.
Yeah, like in season 1, episode 1, when Robert Baratheon goes to Winterfell for the first time, Ned Stark says to him, "Winterfell is yours." And when Daenerys goes to Winterfell for the first time, Sansa says, "Winterfell is yours." So it's like they keep a play on words and stuff. It's so intricate, and like I could.
Maybe that's why I don't get into it. Maybe it's a little too intricate for me.
Yeah, I think you lack the focus for this type of show, Jay. No offense.
There's a lot that happens.
No, but Jay, this is...
It wasn't my... I mean, it's just for me personally. It wasn't my thing. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into the characters.
You got to get past the first season, though.
Well, no, I just couldn't get into that style of character.
No,
I like watching stuff like... You know what's weird?
I agree.
They're all the good.
But by the end of season 1, because of the death of Sean Bean there, I was like, oh, fuck, now I got to see the second season.
Like,
I was into it by the end, but also, my world was so rocked when that happened because I'm like the only fucking person who's decent, has any decency on this show. Like at this point, dies at the end of the first.
See, but I don't have a problem getting used to the accents, getting stuff like that. I've been watching the Nightfall stuff like old Roman stuff and shit like that. I don't know what it is. It's just that dragon fucking fake bullshit.
Here's the thing, though. At least I don't know if Christina agrees, but they do such a good job of actually making you think, though, because they don't hit you over the head with all the magic stuff at once. They kind of weave it in, so they make you think like it was a real world.
Like, it seems real. Like, nothing.
I know it sounds crazy,
show.
Like a fire-breathing dragon?
Yeah.
Like, there's dragons on the show. Come on, guys.
I know, but you don't think that it's fake.
Yeah, but
because they approach
I get it.
everything like people don't believe it at first, but then slowly they kind of weave these things in because everyone doesn't believe
still
it.
Your fantasy, still your
when the dragon
fantasy,
starts,
still your mind fucking playing with you, right? I mean, obviously, maybe I can't get my mind to switch into that. Maybe that's why I've never gotten to comic books. Maybe that's why I've never gotten to stuff like that. Maybe that's why, right? I like more of original stuff, like people with no real superheroes. Like I like Batman because he's got no powers. What fucking power does he have? You know what I mean? It's not like
gadgets.
That's all he has, all right? That's all you need.
Right,
gadgets.
okay.
Sorry, but no, I get where you guys are going with that.
And that's why some people like that sort of stuff. And I certainly, except for superhero type stuff like genre comics, I read all kinds of different type of stuff. But I'm with you because I'd rather read a book. Like if I'm reading a novel, I'd rather read something I could learn something from, like an autobiography or something. If I'm reading a novel, that's what I like about. Like that's what I mean. I love documentaries.
Right.
I like shit
that
like
kind
that.
of stuff.
I agree with you. But when it comes to some sort of certain fantasy type stuff, I'm also on board because
the only fantasies I like are in my head, bro. So, go on.
I guess I like
Speaking
both
of fantasies. Do you know what autobiography I read and was actually pretty good?
What's that?
Jenna Jameson's.
Oh, the porn star. Yeah.
I've watched a few of her movies.
Sure.
I think
Sure you do.
I think I spanked it to a few too.
How to Fuck Like a Porn Star.
Okay.
There you go.
It was
Perfect
actually
title.
really good. Write it now?
No. This was like 10 years ago. It was just really well written for some reason, and it just gave me a different insight into her life because, like, I mean, people don't really pay attention to.
She was so good looking when she was younger. Now she looks like washed up.
Well, now she's married to some conservative Jew, and she's converted to
some
Judaism.
conservative Jew. You hear that?
She is.
Figure out that one. I got to worry about being politically correct on the show. Fuck that.
She's married to one of them conservative Jews.
You guys are taking it to another level. Okay?
I know.
No, he's got a big nose.
I don't.
She's thinking about it.
From a scale of 1 to 10, Jesse's nose is 10, and
Brad Marchand's is 10.5.
What are we talking here? 7?
I don't remember.
Okay,
Let's go
anyways.
with that.
So you just thought it was interesting because it gave you a whole new respect for her?
Like, yeah, you just don't think someone like her,
can articulate
write.
and make a book, but she probably just talked like.
I'm sure she had a ghostwriter. I don't think she wrote
Who knows?
it.
I mean,
but even just her story, like
we
her
don't know.
life, and for a porn star, she actually had like
a decent life.
limits. To
Not
her
only
porn,
that, she basically, at least from what I know, I mean, I haven't read the book. I've watched some of her films, so I have that that
Oscar-worthy.
experience. Yes.
Yeah, Oscar-worthy.
But she basically set the bar in terms of porn stars making the amount of money they did at that time.
I think even with their
she was in Private Parts with Howard Stern. She did a huge part in that movie.
She's always had little cameos.
But she at that time she was the biggest porn star for a
Didn't
long
wasn't
run. So so that's what I mean. Bios are interesting for that reason. I do like taking and learning something, but sometimes I like separating myself from the real world too. So I do like fantasy type stuff too, because this world sucks, bro. There's so much bullshit to be able to separate yourself.
Amen.
And actually, that's why I like reading about stuff that transports me out of this
you guys
fucking
into this
bullshit.
fucking fantasy and all this fake funny stuff. Do you guys dress up and do foreplay? Like, not you guys, but with your significant others?
No, I'm not into that, actually.
Yet. It could be a season finale thing, right, guys? I don't know
Have
about
you guys ever had a
Christina's
viewing party
never
when
asked.
you dressed up?
Christina's never answered that question
A
yet.
viewing party, like if you're watching the show.
yeah,
I think it is, dude.
You want to circle
it's
back
foreplay,
to that?
yeah. It's foreplay. There you go, see? You go, Lewis. Will you get him to dress up as the little guy?
He is the horror monger in that fucking...
He is.
Yeah, so
he's like a main character, right?
he banged the most whores on that show, Tyrion. Yeah, he's
like
best.
the main character?
Because
One
for
of
the
them?
whole...
I don't know.
He's great. He's probably my favorite character.
Well, when you look it
Top.
up, that's the one that comes up first as the character. That's the main.
Yeah.
Tyrion,
Yeah, that little guy.
Okay, so back to Game of Thrones now. Moving on. All right, so how do you want to do this? Do you want to do a breakdown or just your overall thoughts of all 3 episodes so far?
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Overall,
so first episode.
I thought it was a great setup episode. I think it was necessary. You need to re-welcome all the characters back. A lot of characters were meeting again for the first time since probably season 1. Episode 2, waste of time.
See, I felt that about episode 1. I know where you're coming from saying that it was needed, but we only got fucking 6 episodes, guys. I want big things happening every fucking episode.
That's why I was like, why did it take 2 episodes of people like,
but
Aren't they supposed to be fighting all this whole last season?
So this last season, there was these there's 2 main objectives right now to this show. One was these White Walkers, these undead people, warriors, were coming towards where most of the main characters are right now.
They are winter, basically. Winter is coming, the long night, winter, that whole reference, they're coming.
And so they've been coming from the start. They've been telling us this from the start of the series.
Okay.
So this 3rd episode that just aired this past Sunday. So by the time you guys hear this, the 4th episode will have been aired, and that's why we're not talking about it today. But we figured this was a good spot to talk about it, so we can give our predictions for everybody as well for what we think the end of the series is. So this 3rd episode that just passed, the fight just went down. So the whole thing was an hour. It was an hour and a half.
I heard something about people talking.
Huge fight. So the whole fight we've been waiting for, this whole time to happen between these undead, has been happening. Now the other big plot is who is the rightful heir to the throne,
and who will sit on the Iron Throne at the end of it all.
It's
hence the Game of Thrones thing.
It's just so weird because now it's going to be winter, right? It's like all of a sudden winter showed up after 6 seasons.
It's again, it plays on this fantasy.
Yeah,
it's it's not
like a Walking Dead
normal
thing where all of a sudden winter's showing up now.
It just
it's. I get what you're saying. It's not in the same timeline. I get it.
They don't really count years. They count seasons.
Yeah.
So it's you were born in the summer.
Yeah.
Right, and you might be 15 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
But most of the seasons that have been Game of Thrones have been summer, anyways, right? Or fall, summer, nothing like winter, right?
More or less, but there's certain parts of the world where it's always winter. like, if I'm correct, right?
Well,
it's
and there's
always,
always
like,
summer
cold,
in
yeah,
other places too. I get
whatever,
it. You're
but
saying,
then,
yeah,
like,
but
the
they still
winter
have
Where the
comes
seasons.
Nice Guard was, where they were posted up, it seemed to be always winter then.
Yeah, like out the wall, right? Yeah, because they're in the north.
And then Winterfell, of course, is...
because they're in the north.
That's right.
That
yeah.
just...
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah,
those would make more
geographically,
sense.
if you were to look at the parts on the map, because
Yeah.
there's a whole fucking world that this guy has made, right?
Okay.
Like there are certain parts in the north that are like...
You just think you would have seen the winter a lot quicker because, a dragon might have took you, fly you over to somewhere.
Well, that's the thing. All these characters have been all spread out around the
Remember
world.
Neverending Story?
And they all that was a great movie. But we're not talking about that, Jay, so shut the fuck up.
It's a good job.
Moving on. So anyways, Peanut Gallery over here. Back to what we're talking about.
Hey, I'm trying to just make some conversation here because, you know what? I have no idea about Game of Thrones and you need to teach me. I'm trying to learn. So maybe I find myself interested in it and I catch up.
I'll make
and
you a
it can have
believer,
a
Jay.
great grand finale. I can watch it with you guys. Yeah, right. But still, you never know.
Yeah.
Come on.
So all the characters have been around the world at this point.
Yeah.
They've basically all come together now. A lot of them have fucked up relationships with each other, and they're all forced together to fight these fucking undead. Because most of them are like, listen, this war is bigger than all of us. So like, we need to come together and band together and actually fucking face these things before we all get killed.
Yeah,
So
there's
when
no
you're saying-
point to fighting for the Iron Throne if there's nobody left to
So
rule
when you're
it.
saying undead,
They're like
guys are what?
skeleton warriors.
Like zombies.
But
So
they're...
the Night King, the guy who leads them, can reanimate the fucking dead. So, like, if they die on the battlefield...
He can raise them
Not
up
even if
again.
they die on the battlefield. He can raise, which we learned in this episode. I didn't see that one coming.
Oh,
he can raise
I didn't even
any
think
of
about it either.
Yeah, which was brilliant, actually. I actually liked that move.
Yeah.
He can raise anybody who's dead, essentially.
Okay.
So... But anyways, so you thought the second episode was a waste.
Total.
Interesting, because it had such great moments. Like
what?
Them sitting together, drinking, where he knighted Brienne there.
Jerking each other off? Like, no.
That was great!
No, it wasn't.
What do you mean?
See what I'm saying? That's what I told you in the fucking
Singing
triangle
a fucking
jerk.
song? Who cares? Move on. You have a war to fight.
So basically, the second episode had them all preparing for the next day that was going to be the third episode of the fight.
Okay.
So you thought it was a waste for those moments. You thought they were moments that they were wasteful.
Yeah,
I liked
getting
them.
knighted. Okay,
That was a
good for
sweet
her.
moment.
Great.
There was the
But,
moment where
seriously?
or maybe it was in the first episode.
was sweet
when Jamie
when you-
saw her and he like, oh no, because he showed up at the end of the first episode with that awkward.
Yeah, Bran.
This guy cripples this kid at the first season,
Episode 1.
and he's never seen him again since now. And when he sees him, it was almost as if he fucking forgot it. he's like, because I guess he didn't know if he was alive or not at this point. Yeah, but it was just one of those things. The look on his face at the end of the episode, and this kid has no emotion on his face ever. Like, he's just like sitting there, just
It's
looking
like a
at it.
perma meme. Perma meme.
By the way, what
This is
picture are we going to use for the episode art for this one? Are we going to use the Daenerys fucking smug fucking one?
Oh, that one
Where she's
with
like,
Thor?
Yeah. That's the one we got to use, right? Is it that or Bran one? Because the Bran ones are pretty classic, too.
We should amalgamate them together.
Yeah.
Like replace Thor with Bran.
The internet is the internet, though. It's so fun. There's so many funny memes with her. There was one where I sent it to Lewis the other day, actually. She's at the McDonald's drive-thru. Sorry, I know I should have said.
I'm sorry, who have you been friends with longer?
Oh, God, that's it.
No,
You got
check
called
your
out on
stats.
that one, buddy. You got called out. Oh,
No, but
man.
there was one where she's at the McDonald's drive-thru and she has the McDonald's cap on. And it said, whenever you ask someone at McDonald's for
Ice cream.
yeah, and she's just like smug look on her face. But you know how sometimes these
You guys
memes,
are-
they put such a fake fucking thing on her, so the hat looks so fake.
Yeah.
You're just like, what is this? You ever see the Pikachu?
That would have been
memes?
nice to see, Nico.
The Pikachu's just like. You ever seen those? It's so stupid.
You guys and your fucking memes, man. Like,
Yeah, listen, they're fun.
big kids.
Bro, once
I don't
an
even-
episode
We're gonna
airs,
spam JT with
5
some memes
minutes
after
later,
this.
Yeah.
5 minutes later, there's fucking memes of the episode, and like, it's insane. Like the internet, they're just right
Because
on
they're
it.
sitting,
Bro.
but they're sitting there watching it and getting drunk.
Yeah.
And
I love it
taking
though.
pictures of
I
fucking-
love it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I applaud all those
Yes,
people.
Dave. I'm not one
thinks
of them.
of all those the things that you put above and below it, like those sayings, man. Some of them are pretty fucking good, man. Like to come up with them.
So the real question, though, okay, I thought the first one was a waste. You thought the second one was a waste.
But
the third episode, when the battle finally happens,
amazing.
I've never seen fans so divided.
Really?
On an episode. Oh yeah.
Everyone I talked to loves it.
I've talked to a bunch of people that did not.
I mean, it had its problems. Don't get me wrong, but like overall, it was a great episode.
Okay, for the record, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah,
but there was some fan servicey moments. Like you were trying to say that you felt that in the second episode. I felt that during this episode. There was definitely some fan servicey fucking moments where this has always been a very unforgiving show. Nothing's really come easy. Unexpected things have happened. This was one of those things where it's like every time the character looks like they're going to die, someone shows up and saves them. Like things like that were happening quite often during this episode.
Okay, I
and
agree
for a battle
that
was this big, and even if you were to compare it to the first time they fought them at the wall, that one was like. That fight was fucking crazy, that episode, too. It was like also an hour and a half, that first time they fought them. And in comparison, this one was, I think, not as good as the first time they fought them, I would say. Because at the end, all you had literally was the same... all the big name characters were just sitting around hacking away at them. Meanwhile, that
maybe it was a little unrealistic, but if you really think about it, if they had killed off really half of the main characters... What were they going to go on for 3 episodes?
Right. And don't get me wrong. Now that we know they're headed to King's Landing, because that's the only other big threat in the show at this point, their fucking army is depleted. They have no fucking army at this point. Like, there was some people left, but other than the big characters, we didn't actually at least see that many people. Like, there was a lot of people they lost during this fight.
Yeah, I agree. So, but my thing is like, also, like, people forget that Daenerys left people in charge over cities like in Essos.
I also forgot that. You're right.
Sorry, they have armies like over there that she can call. And the biggest thing is the Iron Bank, like the Golden Company. Yes. Right now, people think that Cersei has control of them, but they've always said they have allegiance with. Or they're always going to go with the person most likely to win.
These are the people that brought those elephants or whatever the fuck.
Right. Euron went to go get them, but they couldn't travel because they didn't have, obviously, ships to...
So you think they're fake aligning themselves with them right there?
No, but I just think that it's just... when they find out that Daenerys' army, quote-unquote, like everybody, against Cersei, let's say, when they find out that everybody has... beat like the army of the undead and Cersei's kind of done nothing. She has no more gold left. She has nothing.
I gotta say though, she played that pretty well. For her not to get involved at all and for them to win that battle for them and basically sit back with her army that was not as big as theirs up to this point, like it was actually a good move on her part. Like tactically, I'm sorry, I don't throw this word around lightly.
What?
Being a huge cunt. Yeah. Because let's be honest, she is. And I love that character. She's so evil. I love Cersei. Yeah. She's up there. She's like top 3 for me. Honestly, I love that character because she's so fucking she's the worst. And being so, she's one of the best characters, I think. But yeah, I mean, good move on her part because that's actually going to help her moving forward now. But,
I don't think so.
I mean, ultimately, she's going to die. We'll get into the death count in a minute.
Jaime's going to fucking murder her.
Yes. I agree. I think so.
Are those people's real names, or are they just the
characters'
names?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I think Jaime is also going to be the one to kill her. I think it's because him and Tyrion had that talk where he said, "You always knew what she was." Like, even though now he's pretending like he finally sees her for what she is because she tried to kill him recently.
I'm actually a little nervous.
What was she again?
She's right now. She's sitting on the Iron Throne. She's a cunt.
I just want to see you say it again.
There you go.
You could say it. She has one.
Yeah. but right now she's technically the queen over everything.
I don't like that word.
She is though right now. Yeah.
Moist.
I don't know why. I have a hard time saying it. Go on.
But I honestly think I don't know something. Maybe because it's like in just the true show fashion that Tyrion might not flip. I don't want to say flip, but the last time we see Tyrion in season 7, he's having a conversation with Cersei. And we don't
he's,
really
hidden
know
in the shadows at the end.
Right, and we don't really know, like, what they talked about, because the last thing that they said to each other, like, was, oh, she's pregnant. So we all know he's kind of about family and honor and all of that, but I don't know what was said. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it.
What's the point if there's only 6 more episodes?
Well, no,
there's
like
3 now.
Well, I get it. I know, but
I don't know. I don't. Maybe.
Are they gonna have a song
it doesn't
like
matter. She's gonna die. Like, so it doesn't matter.
They're gonna have a song like The Sopranos at the end, where it's just gonna play, and you're gonna wonder if
Don't
she has a
stop
fucking
believing?
baby. Yeah, you're gonna wonder if she's pregnant or
And
something.
it goes black, bro.
I don't know, man.
So
I'm just that, you know what?
It's such a dead end storyline. Like, there's not really.
I mean, basically,
anything they can do with that.
everybody's going to be dead at the end, and the dragons are going to live forever. And it's like, who wins now, assholes?
Yeah, really. That's an interesting theory.
I don't know.
Okay, so let's get into that. But episode 3, you enjoyed it.
Yes.
Arya killing the Night King.
Yeah, I think it's pretty badass.
I think it's awesome that it was that character, but
the way that it was done, you're not happy with?
I loved how they foreshadowed her busting up that move because she did it to Brienne when they were fucking around when she first showed up at Winterfell. Yeah, awesome.
Again, foreshadowing.
Exactly.
You don't
awesome.
pay attention, but foreshadowing.
I didn't see that coming. Mm-hmm. I actually remembered that one, but then I seen it on the internet after people were showing the little video of her doing it, so that was cool. Mm-hmm. And I loved it that it was that character. Mm-hmm. But where the fuck did she come out from? Like, she kind of dropped in from somewhere, like, we're not even aware. Like, was she, like, hidden? Did she steal somebody's face? Like, how the fuck did she get herself in that position where they couldn't, like, she basically just ran in there.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what I mean. Like, I just find it surprising.
That's the point.
Right.
Like, she was trained to be an assassin.
Yes.
And that's what assassins do. They show up and they kill.
Fuck around with them, yeah.
It just seemed a little too easy. It seemed, I know that she's highly skilled. Right. I know that she's awesome. But she had a lot of close calls. I thought she was going to fucking die when he grabbed her by the throat.
For sure.
But it just, everything leading up to this point, when it finally came and pushed the shove there, it kind of seemed very simple, the death. I don't know if it was
But I think
deserving,
that's the beauty in it. Like, it's like people try to overcomplicate, like, killing him, but it's very simple. You literally just need to take Valyrian steel, not dragonglass, because he's made with dragonglass.
Yes.
Take Valyrian steel and, like, puncture him. Like, stab him, chop his head off. I don't know, spear him. Like, like, people look too much into it, and it's at the end of the day, it's just simple. Kill him, but then you kill everything else.
So one of these characters, one of the main characters, killed the Night King, the guy who leads the army of the undead. Okay. At the end of the episode of this battle, so they win because as soon as she stabs him and he died, all of his army basically disintegrated. They all have. He's the ringleader. Like if you kill him, you kill everyone.
Attached.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay.
So because it's his army, like he's the one that raises them, right? So basically, it just came as a shock to me towards the end, and I guess maybe that's what they wanted you to feel. But yeah, I don't know. Just
I had a few feelings because it's like there's this one other character, Bran. Okay. Yeah. He's in the wheelchair. He's the one who has that dead look in his eyes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a wheelchair back then?
Yeah, he was in a wheelchair. Well, they made one for him. I don't know.
Okay.
JT, just go with it.
Okay, I'm trying. Sorry, guys. I'm trying, man.
So, instead of adding to the conversation, you're throwing it right off.
Well, that's the point. Let's see if I can throw everybody off track.
Go on. Like, his... Okay,
there you go.
Like, the guy, the non-believer, non-fantasy guy, he has, like, visions, so he can see the past, the future...
Although that's really bullshit. Like, no one knows what the fuck he is. This guy has this crazy
They call him the Three-Eyed Raven.
But no one knows, like, why he has these...
Well, the third eye is reference to the spiritual eye.
Oh.
Do you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got one of those.
Raven, because they send ravens for messages.
I got a spiritual eye. No, I think we all... Well, not we all, but... Go on.
Yeah, so Bran had, like... been like he interacted with the Night King during one of his visions.
Okay.
So he knew that the Night King was looking for him because he held mankind's secrets, like all of their secrets, their history. So if there was no three-eyed raven, there was no history for people to look or to understand and how to destroy him.
But did he really know everything?
He did.
Yeah, he knows everything to the point where during everything going down, the Night King is walking towards him, about to kill him, because he's the only one that can basically, he knows who he is, and he basically he's the only person that stands in his way, essentially.
Okay.
He's just sitting there, like smugly almost. He's just sitting there, no expression. The guy's
just
walking
staring at him
because he's already foreseen everything that was about to go down this whole time. Like there was people that had wronged him in the past that were walking up to him during this episode. That he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I forgive you. You're doing the right thing. Everything happens for a reason, pretty much." Like things like that. So like the whole time, it's like nothing phases this kid. Like he's just sitting there.
Chill.
Yeah. So that's what it was. Kind of made it unsettling in a way because I'm just like, what the fuck is going on with this guy, right? Like
exactly. So to go back, like when the Night King was walking up to him, and they had that like 30 seconds of like eye contact, and it was camera go back and forth. You kind of have this feeling because there was speculation before this episode aired that Bran was the Night King, right? Because he could control minds somehow. Like not really, but that's the easiest way I can put it.
I thought it was bullshit when I first heard it, but then when he started walking to him, yes, you're right.
You're like, oh my god,
that. Yeah.
oh my god, it's true. What the fuck? But then, like Arya, the assassin, comes out of nowhere and kind of puts that all to bed.
Because he's still sitting there living at the end of it, but it's kind of almost as if he already knew that all these pieces were in play for this to go down. As was justified by that witch when she showed up in this episode, and she even told her. She said some line she said to her fucking 4 seasons ago that made her think that, okay, now it's time for you to go kill the Night King.
In season 3, she looked her in the eyes, and she basically said, "I see like death in your lots of death in your future."
This is the kid here, Jay. This is basically what he's sitting there looking like.
Yeah, he's normal. Like, see, how the fuck do you have a normal person, and then you have all these other weird guys going on?
For the most part, everyone's normal.
He's kind of weird, actually. He's also kind of weird because no one knows what the fuck he is. But yeah, and that was the other cool thing. Even though that witch, that was actually another part I really enjoyed, how she showed up and made a big difference in that fight against these guys. Not that the fire killed them, but it kept them at bay long enough for them to kind of regroup and figure out what the fuck was going on. And even though Baratheon's, the older dude that used to be with him, I forgot his name. Yes. No, not Stannis Baratheon. The older guy that remember he had that daughter and she fucked her. They
Stannis.
Yeah. The guy that was in this episode. No, the guy that used to work.
Davos.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Jay knows what I'm talking about. Davos, like, when she showed up, because he fucking hates her. Like, he didn't want her there at all. She's like, don't worry, I'm going to be dead soon. I'm going to do this for you guys. And then she just kind of walked away and kind of...
Yeah, and she had an old lady Titanic moment.
That's right. I liked that a lot.
That was perfect.
Because she didn't need to do that. And she knew everyone fucking hated her there.
But she also knew she had a purpose.
Right.
And she knew that she would be... Her purpose was going to be served that night, and then she was done.
But she's 50-50 in her predictions up to this point. I mean, let's be honest. Like, she isn't always right about everything. So, her magic worked, like, 1/3 of the time up to this point. She did bring Jon Snow back. She brought back the main characters, one of them back to life. Like, he's an integral part of the story. But, again, what I did like...
Really dying. Was he really dying?
He died.
He died.
And she brought him back to life.
Yeah, he was probably in a coma.
I think there's only, 2 people. It was that light guy that died in this episode that got brought back to life.
4 people died.
And got brought back to life?
No. Yeah.
Oh, 3. I know that there's the mountain.
The mountain never...
Yes.
Well, okay, yeah.
I mean, he's fucked. I mean, who knows what the hell's under there.
I don't
think
he really died.
He looks like he did.
I think he was near death, and they just did some Frankenstein shit and brought him back.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess it's just that Lord of the Light dude, the guy with the flaming sword, who died during this episode.
Because his person who brings him back was dead.
Right. Yeah, that's too bad. When he lost that sword, I knew he was fucked, though. I'm like, oh, he's done.
A lot of the secondary characters left.
The guy from the Night Watch, who's been there from the start. I forgot his name.
Ed something.
Okay, him.
Yeah.
The big one was Daenerys' hand. Not her hand, but...
Ser Jorah.
Yes. who was supposed to be her hand, but he wasn't. But he died defending her, which was cool. And the other big one was Reek.
You know what's the best is that you guys are remembering all these names, and they're not even real fucking names from people. I have a hard time remembering people's names.
Yeah,
and you can ask anybody out there. I can't keep that in. You guys are remembering these fucking Dolores.
They've created such a big world, though, man. This world building is top notch, man. Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. I get it. Well, I get it. It's a fact. It's a
when there's this much
like a fact,
character
really,
development in the show, though, it really speaks like to how good the show is. When there's people disinvested.
Like nobody understands why I have all the scotches, and I don't even know the show.
Okay, take for example Walking Dead. When people were really into that, everyone knew all the names of the people on Walking Dead. Did they not?
Yeah, I still know.
Same thing. It's like anything. How about Sopranos?
They're zombies, yeah.
There's fucking like
their
20-something characters
zombies.
on the
Did
Sopranos.
you hear?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what their names are. No, but
any show that has a following like this, I know this one is.
Yeah, I know. I get
more.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and the names are a little funky, but
you would think
it's a different time.
Just go into a classroom nowadays, read out the attendance list. It's the same thing.
I can't pronounce it. I can't. No, there's a lot, man. It's hard. It's not easy anymore. No?
There's one of them Jews in the classroom.
Keep going, bro. Keep going. Nate Binder?
Listen, I didn't say it. Anyways, moving on. Gonna have to cut that one out.
Okay. Sorry. You losing focus? Come on, Nico. We're
losing listeners. Is what we're losing.
You were so into the folk because I haven't been here quiet.
No, it's okay. You had to do your piece. Thanks, Jay.
No, thanks. I'll push myself back on mute.
What's his name? Reek. His real name was
Theon.
Theon Greyjoy.
I'm glad.
What'd you think? Okay.
I'm glad.
That was a redeeming moment, though.
Yeah, but he had to redeem himself.
He had such a tortured existence, that character.
Yeah, but he deserved it.
He was a prick.
He deserved it.
But he did.
But he redeemed himself.
Yes. I think...
I was half expecting him to run away and jump off the ship again.
He basically knew he was dead. He ran towards him and let himself be sacrificed.
Well, he got the acceptance from a Stark that he was home and he was accepted and he was fine.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for him, Bran wouldn't have survived that. He was the last one standing. Well, who knows, right? Who knows?
Isn't it Stark?
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's like, you're a good man, or whatever the hell he says to him there.
Isn't Stark on another show?
Stark? Yeah, Iron Man.
Yeah, isn't he Iron Man? You guys are fucking me up now.
Are we going to talk about Endgame, too?
Yes.
I don't know. Never watched it yet.
Anyways.
Are you going to watch it?
I don't pay fucking $20 to go watch in the theater. Sorry.
Anyways,
Tuesdays,
Predictions.
It's called Internet.
Predictions.
So far, so good. Then you've enjoyed the season overall, though.
Yeah.
It's not fair to make predictions because you're already an episode ahead, guys.
No.
Ding, ding, ding.
By the time this airs, yes. But we're not going to know that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah, you actually won't find out till Sunday, right?
That's right. Okay, so let's go first. Death predictions. Who else is going to die out of this group of people? Give me a few names of people you think.
Who do we think?
JT? I'd be okay with that right now.
I think Pod, which I don't want to die, but Podrick is going to die.
Who?
Podrick.
What the fuck's that? Oh,
Brienne.
yes.
Come on,
Squire.
Nico.
Squire, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure he's gonna die.
Brienne's gonna die. Tormund's gonna die.
Everybody's
Tormund
gonna die.
was
Giant's milk.
Oh, I really hope not. That guy's fucking. See, how could you not like the second episode? That was the best fucking scene in that episode.
It was disgusting. He's such a barbarian.
I just say his Giant's milk. That was awesome. He's like, I like the big woman.
He does. He's like, I want to climb her.
I love him. Anyways, go on. Okay.
Yeah, because people who don't really matter are gonna die. Euron's gonna die.
They're probably all gonna die.
Now I don't know.
They could all die. It's very possible.
The end of the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think Daenerys is gonna sit on the throne.
No.
I know it's too predictable. It's too whatever.
Okay.
But
so those are your death
predictions.
Those are your death predictions.
I think so.
Okay.
Like, who else am I missing?
I'm gonna say Daenerys. Daenerys is gonna die, in my opinion. That whole squabble that they had before the fight went down.
Oh, that 2-second glare down.
Yeah, she's not. The greed is getting to her. Her father was the Mad King. She's gonna die. Push is gonna come to shove. She doesn't have that guy anymore.
Jorah.
Doesn't have his back. Tyrion, yes, he serves her, but he might flip. I didn't actually think of that theory. That was a pretty good theory that you had earlier in the episode. I never thought about that. But Daenerys, I think, is going to die. I think Cersei's going to die. I think Jaime's going to die saving Brienne from something, okay, because he's in love with her, okay? At first, I thought all Lannisters were going to die because I figured they were all going to end up killing each other, but I'm going to go back on that now because I have another prediction for Tyrion. So those two are going to die, Jaime and Cersei, I think. I also think one of the Starks, one more, probably has to die. I don't think it's going to be Jon.
He's not a Stark.
Oh, well, yes, I know.
Tony is.
By name,
well, I don't think Sansa's going to die.
I don't think Sansa's going to die, but I think Arya is going to die because of the Drake curse. If you may or may not no, this is real. You may not may or may At the Billboard Awards yesterday, he gave a shout out to Arya for what she did in the last episode. Now we all know that anybody that Drake co-signs at this point
is fucked.
I know, but it's
why?
It's already done.
The show, yeah.
You know, like it's already filmed.
I think she's gonna die though, because up to this point, she had the great moment of taking down the Night King. Yeah, I thought she was also getting a little cocky, to be honest, up to this point.
Well, yeah, she took Gendry down like a fucking dry log.
She told this guy to fucking take off his pants. She hopped on.
She's
for
like
the first
12
time.
years old.
Bro, she hopped on it. Yeah, and the show, how old is she?
What? 12 years old? What the fuck are you guys watching?
Yeah, she's...
How old is she actually in the show, though?
Okay, I mean, obviously she's not 12 years old in real life.
She's probably like closer to 18 or 19.
No,
she has to be
she's
legal.
Early 20s, isn't she?
She would have to be legal
so.
to do something like that. She would have to be at least 18, honestly.
As an actress.
She's like 21, 22.
Yeah.
But as a character, I don't think she's more than 20 years old.
Yeah, she was looking at this guy like a piece of fucking meat in this episode, bro. she fucks him.
I mean,
bro.
she always has, but still, it was strange.
But if for a virgin, she was like, "You take off your pants."
She's fucking, she's a virgin. That's like the end of their lives, man. They're fucking.
That's why she banged him. They figured this is going to be my last night on Earth, so that she's like.
I don't know.
She took the chastity belt off.
Want to get into it.
Anyways,
that's a woman
for bigger
thing.
characters, those are my predictions, though. And I also think Sam's going to die. I think he's going to die.
I actually have a prediction.
It's kind of
for
funny
the actual end of the show.
Okay. And that's what we're going to get into next here. Okay, so those are my death predictions. Predictions for who's going to sit on the throne or anything else you want to throw out there.
I always sit on the throne.
He does for fucking hours. When this guy messages
Isn't that
people...
like a normal man thing?
Sometimes.
Like
yes and no, not to this degree, though. Jay's like is hours late for things because
like,
he's sitting on the shitter.
Can't feel your legs.
Crazy.
Sit on the throne.
No, I made sure I got a good toilet where it just doesn't make the legs fall asleep ever. It's awesome. I got So go on. I don't know what the fuck. I wasn't talking about the toilet. I was talking about the throne, bro.
Christina, predictions.
Okay. Well, it's not really my prediction. My dad actually came up with it.
Interesting. Okay.
And I think it's kind of interesting. So I think that this is all a dream. Sam is going to wake up.
And he's going to be in the 20th century.
Town, and I think because he's fallen asleep rewriting scrolls, and he's dreamt up this whole thing.
Fake thing with dragons.
If that happens.
Fake dragons. It's all make believe.
That is like a Sopranos fucking ending right there. Was this something that was floating around the internet that he read?
Maybe.
Because I heard someone else say, if it fucking turns out George R.R. Martin is fucking closing a book and telling a fucking tale at the end of this, they're like, I'm done with this show. And I fucking agree. If that happens,
you'll be done anyways because the book it's over.
Like, and then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it makes sense because Sam is like
the scroll fucking keeper.
But it's not only that; he's like the unsung hero. He gets the girl. He is the first one to kill a White Walker.
Right.
He's always like he's like the unlikely hero. Right. He wins all the time, and it's not normal for his character. I mean, the last episode he spent 90% of it on his back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like how did he survive?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just he made it up. Like John, his best friend, comes back from the dead. He gets all of these accolades and
But
these
is it going to be
titles.
him retelling and closing the book on the story that he lived, and this is a future setting?
No, I
or
think
this
he
is all
literally
made up.
made it up. Like,
No,
he had
fuck
a
that.
dream.
No, I really
He
hope
had
that's
a
not the
dream.
case. I'd be more okay with him being like, and that's the story about Game of Thrones, and he's like an old man, you know, and he closed the fucking book. I'd be okay with that.
I don't know, it's interesting.
I don't know if I'd be okay with that either, but I'd be better with it being all fake.
This
It's
is
a
now
fucking
archived
dream.
forever,
This
so...
isn't the fucking
What's with
Newhart
that
show.
voice, man, that you're doing? That accent?
That was my old man voice. Did you like that? It must have
You
been
bust, yeah, what's going on, man? You're doing it a few
So my
times.
prediction is Tyrion's going to be on the throne at the end.
Okay.
The reason I think that is because they time and time again, like we've been noticing now, he is the smartest person. They keep saying on the show. He didn't have a big moment to shine. With him and Sansa were going to get together there at the end and kind of step up against all those fucking dead people in the crypt there.
Mm-hmm.
They were finally going to step up and do something. They didn't really have that moment because it kind of ended right there. Like, even though and I think she might end up with him.
With him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
I
they
could
had
see
that
them
moment,
doing
she
that.
said you were the best of them earlier in
Can
the
I have a
episode.
prediction?
Yeah, sure.
I just think you guys are fucked. And you know what?
Let's talk about
it's
something
gonna
JT
be
wants
the
to talk about now.
opposite. It's going to be total opposite of what anybody wants. You know, you guys all want it to end your way, and you want it to end it all nice and peacefully. And,
Well, if
you know what? Everybody's going to fucking die, and you guys are going to be all disappointed.
That is also
that
the
was a-
following day,
right,
you're
that
going to
was
be
a prediction.
It's going to
Yeah.
be all over the internet that you guys are going to be disappointed. You've been watching this fucking show, and
Well,
you're
thank
all
God the
hyped up.
final episode is airing on the Sunday of the long weekend, so we all have Monday to recover.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
but what if
Very
you guys
nice.
are away?
Very nice.
Huh?
Like, what if people go away? It's a long
Too bad.
weekend.
So don't make
Oh,
plans.
well.
Stay home.
You want to talk
wrong
about
with
how
you?
big of a geek JT is? He
No,
bought
really.
a line of fucking Game of Thrones liquors and doesn't even watch the show.
You have all the bottles?
Yes, all of them. He does.
All of them.
Okay, I had the beer
No,
And I had
there's
the
not.
wine.
There's two beers now.
and the stout.
There's
From
a
the
cherry.
no- the
There's
no-
something you
yeah,
can
there's
talk
a red
about.
one. And then
See,
there's
and he
a
thinks I
fucking-
forgot about it.
There's a new one I just seen the other day, a blue one. There's
Yeah,
one.
the King in the North.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the stout.
So yeah, no, fuck, man.
It's in a black bottle.
There's two of them in a black bottle. It's the labels are different. One's red, like one's a pinkish one, and one's a blue
And
one.
one's blue. I tried the blue one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The pink one I still have. It's still there. I don't have the beer. I didn't buy
Right.
the beer. I bought the scotches.
Right, the Johnny Walkers.
Yeah,
has them all.
no, they're not just Johnny. No, not Johnny Walker. It's everything, man. The Johnny Walker's only the basic one, the one with the white around
yeah.
it, right? But the other ones are the Lavagulin and all the high end scotches, man. Like $119, $130 bottles. They're not fucking around. I got the whole
Owns
family.
them all. Doesn't
Six
even know what
families,
the
right?
fuck it is.
6 families or whatever. 6.
Yeah.
There's 4. There's 5 of them that are in a regular, with the
The look
dragon,
on
whatever.
Christina's face,
And then,
listeners,
yeah,
is
guys,
priceless.
you can see this right now. I don't think she's blinked yet. But yeah, and then the black one. I don't know which one that one is. There's a black. I don't even know the fucking which ones are which.
So when are we doing the podcast at JT's place?
Never. Those things are just there, man. I'm gonna see what happens.
That's what I asked
I
him.
buy-
I'm like,
I buy
do you
booze,
have
but I
that
buy
to
I buy
entertain?
booze.
He was like, no,
Yeah.
I collect them.
You know what? I buy booze as a commodity sometimes, man. Because some of the stuff
Those will
that I
be
get-
worth something.
They will
sometimes-
be.
Sure,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
there's stuff that I can get that I buy that tends to go up in value too, right? I just don't have a wine thing. Otherwise, I could have fucking wines that have gone up. That have
Nor
jumped
does
in
he
price.
drink. Very fucking
Remember
bizarre.
that too. I
He's
don't
a
also
weird,
drink.
weird
I
guy.
don't drink at all. Right? Period. What you're seeing is what you're getting right here. Is what I drink.
Tonight.
Yeah, slurping back the coffees.
Number 2, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, but because I'm too used to being coming here late, so
Sure.
we're here usually till like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
So 3. By the time I get home, it's 4 o'clock.
What are you
So
talking
2
about?
coffees.
It's 3 in the morning now.
Late night
Is
chat,
it?
guys.
Nice chat.
Fucking light. Shit, man,
Okay,
it's almost
so yeah,
sun's coming up.
let's wrap this up then, so Jay can fucking actually
Have a conversation
have
with
a
us.
conversation with us as bad as he's been.
No,
trying.
I've been
been
trying to
rope
listen,
you in
but
here.
I'm trying to see, it's a little hard because you guys are just
Sure.
describing the names and stuff like that, so it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on, where's going what, what's
Moving
going
on.
who, what's going on. Exactly. No,
So
but
yeah, I think
it's true.
Tyrion's going to take the throne, and he's going to end up with Sansa. And I think Jon's going to fall back because he's too humble for that. And
Yeah,
I think
I don't
Daenerys
think-
is going to end up getting killed either by him or somebody else because she wants the throne and she's not going to let it.
I
she's
like
not gonna
Christina's
stop.
theory better.
Okay.
I actually like it. It's a fairy tale. So what other way to make a fucking fairy tale?
That would infuriate people, though.
Yeah. Maybe not the girls so much.
Yeah.
No, it would.
Would it infuriate you too? Would it piss you off?
But because I kind of am
embracing it?
holding it in the back of my brain, I would be pissed, though. I would.
But if they did it the right way. Like, I mean, it's just like if they made it so that it's almost real, it's almost like, that means you never know, it could come back one day, right? You got a good point there. This way, Nico, the way he's thinking of it, half the fucking people are dead, and there's going to be one person taking over the whole fucking world.
Listen, if we're pretending that this is eventually what the real world becomes anyways, then this fucking all would cease to exist anyways. There is no fucking hierarchy of kings and queens all over the you know what I mean? This is like
but I think if Daenerys does take
there's
I don't
queens
think
and everything,
she's gonna...
but there's no, like, ruler of all. Like...
Yeah, I don't... But that's what I mean. If Daenerys does take it, which is, like, a fan favorite theory, I guess, like, I don't think there will actually be a throne. Like, I think she's gonna rule, like she kind of does in Essos, like, loosely. Like, kind of bring peace to everybody, peace, love, harmony, and, no slavery, no, like, war, no nothing, because there's no need if everyone gets along.
Maybe straighten out this fucking world. Maybe that'll make, if everybody's fucking watching it in this fucking country,
I don't know.
Maybe it'll straighten some people out by doing it that way. I actually like the way you think.
That
That is inspiring. But it is inspiring. It's a fantasy. But that'd be nice because the fucking world doesn't get along.
I just think, like we've learned in the show, history repeats itself. Her father was the Mad King, so I don't think that we're going to see any...
Yeah, but she had a mad brother.
Yeah.
And he got taken care of.
That's true.
But history repeats itself.
He wasn't he?
He's questionable.
Oh, questionable. Okay. Yeah.
They were all, weren't they?
There's a bunch of them that are bi in the show. There's a bunch of them that bang their sisters and fucking.
I couldn't. I don't know.
There's a lot of crossbreeding going on in the show.
Yeah, man.
Two of the main characters are that's his aunt.
Yeah, that's
But they didn't know, to be fair.
No. But
it's acceptable because they didn't know.
What's funny though is that even though he revealed that he's the true king, that didn't come up once. They're like, they didn't even care. But the throne, it shouldn't be yours. It's mine. It was like, oh my god,
they didn't give her any. Like they gave them 25 seconds before the fucking horn blew. Like, suck my dick.
Well, there you have it. Let's end on that note, guys. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the end. This has been a good journey, but 6 episodes, 2 episodes only being an hour and a half, not enough, in my opinion.
We'll see.
I get where some of the complaints are coming from, especially with that last episode. It seems like they're definitely rushing through this ending. They're
rushing through a lot of shows, man, and that's what's pissing me off.
We waited
not
2
getting
years,
re-signed.
bro. We waited 2 years for this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching shows too that fucking just ended. Like, I've watched fucking Gotham. It just ended. They just killed the whole series. They never re-signed it after 5 years. Oh, but it was good. It was good, man. I liked it.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. The last season kind of sucked.
Episode 5?
The last season kind of sucked, though. That was the problem. Because of...
I watched, I think, the first
It was kind of rushed. Everything was
season.
rushed. Because they were only doing 5 seasons. They're not getting re-signed, right?
I really wanted that show to be good. Because I watched at least 5 episodes and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
Watch it. Trust me. You'll get through it. It makes sense once you start watching it, right? The best character there is the Penguin guy. So
yeah, he's pretty good. I'll give you that.
No, I guarantee you'll see him. I guarantee you'll see him in something else, man. He's awesome.
Anyways, moving on.
I mean, Joker's pretty cool. Riddler's pretty cool, but yeah, I'm telling you, I don't even know their names.
Moving on.
Sure.
Yeah, moving on. That's what Nico does best.
I've been streaming thug life in every different